Local lad Matty has won Bake Off. I wish I'd recorded all the team's reactions when we watched it last night. It's all we've talked about all day. Guess what? It's given us a ring. Honest kindly put him through to the studio and not hogged him for herself. Matty, we are so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
I've got a lot of questions, Matty, so just bear with and answer them as best you can because we have lived this with you over the last 2 or 3 months. You didn't even enter this competition. Your beautiful fiancée, Lara, put you up to it.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. I'd never have done it without her. I would never have done it off my own back.
Which is such a shame because it turns out you're quite good at baking, Matty.
I can get by.
Now, the one thing, and this probably isn't like the most glamorous of questions, but this is what I'm very keen to establish because I've never watched Bake Off before until you did it, right? Because I find baking stressful and therefore watching people stressfully bake is more stressful. So I watched it for you and I don't understand how anything happens. Do you live in that big house down the road from the big tent for the whole time that you're filming it?
No, we don't. We live we stay in like a hotel not too far away, but we have to go up kind of like the night before. Most of it's filmed on the weekend, so we'd go up Friday night and then we'd film all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and then I would drove home and then gone to work Monday.
Well, this is what I was getting very confused about. I was like, are they doing it in the summer holidays? Is it half term? So how long then, from start to finish, was this process for you?
It's 10 consecutive weeks. Most of them are filmed on the weekends, but at the start there was a couple where it didn't quite fall Saturday, Sunday.
So how much cooking was there in a day? Because I thought the first time I watched Bake Off, I'm like, they just do one cake every week. Oh my goodness, 3 things an episode.
Yeah. So you do the how they show it on the TV is how you do it in the order. So on the Saturday you do signature, and then you'd have a few hours break where they was doing other stuff, and then it was technical, and then the Sunday you'd do your showstopper. But on the Saturday it was quite difficult sometimes because you'd have to really like try and find the energy to go again, especially if it didn't go very well.
Yeah, and then go back and be a teacher. I mean, that's not an easy job, is it?
No, it was quite a nice kind of like shut off though. I couldn't afford to be thinking about anything else at the time other than what I was trying to teach.
So let's figure out then who knew what. Obviously Lara was in on it because she sent off all the paperwork. Your mum and dad, who by the way are welcome around mine for dinner any day of the week. They seem delightful people. Who else knew?
Lara's mum and dad, and then we've got some really close friends that are neighbours. They knew because they was kind of like toothpaste testers.
They were toothpaste testers?
No, chief taste testers. That's difficult to say.
So you can tell I don't bake. Now, so last night then, when the final was on, tell me about how you watched it, where you watched it, who was with you that knew, and who just turned around and screamed and cried all over you and made a messy, soggy puddle. It was the first time I'd watched it with kind of a group of people. I had my family and close friends. We was at a pub called the Ruddy Duck. They gave us their function room, so we was there watching it, which was quite surreal, watching Bake Off in a pub. That was something I never expected would happen. But not many of them knew. Barely anyone. So what was the reaction like when they heard your name? I cried, if it helps. Oh, they went mental. Yeah. Did you really? Yeah, no, honestly, because I was so invested in it, Matty, and I find, as I say, baking's stressful and you've done so well, and it's like you live just in our region and it's just exciting. Yeah, no, it's been amazing. I've had so much support from people, certainly towards the latter stages when people are a bit more familiar with my face. It's been amazing. That must be weird, though, when you're popping around Tesco's doing your big shop, buying flour and eggs and all the other things that you'd be buying for your baking that you might never bake again after this. And then they'd be like, oh, hello, Matty, how are you? Can you tell us a secret? And you have to keep it to yourself. I know. It for a while, it took me some time to kind of get used to people calling me by my name, because that's not normal. People that you don't know using you by your first name. It's like, how do you know my name? And then I'd remember. But it's been so nice. It's been good. So when we've been all watching it every week and rooting for you, what's that been like? Because obviously your kids at school
once the series started, knew that you were in it. I am impressed that a bunch of kids of secondary age did not manage to find a way to get the answer out of you.
To be fair to them, some of them tried, but they've been amazing. They've been so good. Kind of like the support that they've been giving me, how invested and intrigued they've been by it all, and equally how willing they've been to kind of laugh at me at times as well. It's been so nice and so refreshing.
On a serious note, Matty, I know that, there's one bit that really touched me yesterday when you just said, I bake and I take things in, but I don't tell the kids that I've baked it. I just say, Lara baked it. And I really hope you know what an amazing role model you are for the young men that you teach.
Oh, thank you. I've not really looked at it in that light, but yeah, thank you.
I can hear you blushing, Matty. Should I move on and not give you a compliment? I just think you should just really own it. You've just come across as such a lovely, lovely man, and those kids are so lucky to have you in their life. How have you felt that you've gone on as the weeks have gone along? Because obviously we've had all our opinions, but how have you felt every week? Was there one week where you thought, oh, this is it, I'm out?
Yeah, I think botanicals was kind of like a standout low for me.
I mean, it's a stupid category, mate, to be honest.
I know, who wants to eat perfume?
No, exactly.
That is basically what we're doing, aren't we? What's that about?
Yeah, so that was a low one. What about the best one? I still love that dog you did. Was it week 1 or week 2 when you did the dog? And
don't? Do you really?
Yeah, because I don't think it looked like a squash dog. I thought it looked delightful. I'd have eaten that.
Oh, you're being too kind.
So, what was your favourite week then? Don't say the final, that's a cop-out.
Okay, cool. Favourite week? Oh, do you know the one where I had the most fun was probably Bread Week.
Oh,
it wasn't my favourite in terms of like what I produced, but whenever there was a challenge where there was like time for us to do nothing because of we was waiting for things to happen, that's when the fun happened. That was a good week. Well,
you do take me nicely on to my following questions, the rest of the crew. So obviously I really wanted you to win, Matty. I have done since day one. But I did have a pang of a sort of just for Josh's nan. I did want, there was part of me that was like, oh, come on, Josh's nan would have wanted this so much. So I felt a bit bad for that element. But is Josh all right with not winning?
Yeah, I think so. I think like kind of anyone that manages to set foot in the tent, any one of the 12 of us was good enough to win. And it kind of comes down to the day or the weekend or the week as to whether or not you progress through, and you take your luck when you get it. And I think luck was on my side to a certain extent on the final.
No, I just think you were the best one, Matty. Now, I do. I'm biased, I know. They'll send me on an impartiality training course now, Matty, I tell you. So how do I get in the Bake Off cast of 2023 WhatsApp group? Because I bet a lot of fun happens in that WhatsApp group.
Yes. Yeah, it's been going crazy the past couple of weeks. I'll put in a word for you.
That'd be great. Or just speak to Saku and Nikki and let me know how I get on a road trip with them. Because the bit at the end when we're all just crying hysterically saying goodbye to the friends we've made for 10 weeks, I love the fact that they went on a road trip.
Yeah, them two, they're wild, aren't they? I think they've spent every weekend since being in the tent with each other. They're amazing.
Now, I don't want to pry because this isn't Hello Magazine, but a wedding is on the cards. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Will you be making your own wedding cake, or would you like the afternoon show family to make you a big one?
If you're offering, I'll take, but I was planning on making my own.
Because is that not a bit of a busman's holiday, though, Matty?
Yeah, I guess it is to a certain extent now. But I don't know. I feel like if I can make it, then I'll give it a go. And if it tastes rubbish, then at least it's my fault.
Yeah, exactly. Saves a bit of money as well. Weddings are expensive. So, Matty, with the baking, is this going to be something that's going to stay in a most amazing hobby, or are you going to be the new domestic science teacher at school? And I appreciate it's not called domestic science anymore, but I'm old.
Do you know, on all of the, I've been making some videos for social media and throughout, and all of the comments are predominantly from the kids saying food tech.
Food tech, yeah,
that's
exactly.
all they comment, yeah. So, yeah, who knows?
So what does the future look like for you? Hopefully staying in teaching, because it's a fulfilling career and obviously you've got so much to give the kids, but hopefully baking will stay with you.
Yeah, for sure. Do you know, I'm so open-minded as to what can come, but I count myself lucky that I'm in a position where I genuinely love my job. So what will be, and I'm kind of looking forward to whatever comes of it.
Well, Matty, I don't know if I mentioned this, but we're very proud of you. Thank you very much for coming on. I will be available to come to the wedding if you're up for it next year. I might have to leave Honor at home. I don't think it'll be good for her to witness you say I do to another woman. But we love you to bits, Matty. Congratulations. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and just be brilliant. You're amazing. Thank you so much, Matty Edgell. Guess what? The winner of 2023 Great British Bake Off. He did it. I'm so happy for him.